Hello students, welcome to this new session of Python. Hope all of you are doing the practicals properly. Last time we have studied control flow statements in Python, mainly which includes branching and looping, that is if else if and while loop as well as for loop. Today in this session we are going to study functions in Python. Now, like control flow statements, you have already studied functions in some other languages. So, you should know the basic use of the functions. The basic use of the function is to help perform repetitive tasks easily. Yes, there can be different types of functions, and today we are going to study about each one of them. First, we start with simple functions that does not take any parameter. So, let's get started. The first type of function without any parameters. So, we go to the Python IDE and we give file, new file. I always have a habit of saving the file first and then going ahead. So, I will give save as, and we give the name as functions. We always, the good practice is to start with a comment, program to demonstrate function without parameters. Okay, so here we go. Now a good practice is to define the function first and then make a call to the function. I hope most of you, if you have learned or if you are having a knowledge of previous languages, you should know. Whenever we are writing functions, two steps are involved. First is defining a function, and the second one is making a call to the function. So, let's get started by defining the function first. The def keyword is used to define the function. The first function that we write is draw line, or rather print line, okay, which does not take any parameter. A common practice in Python is to use colon instead of using curly brackets in other languages. So, what we are going to do is we are going to print a dash line, a line with dashes multiple times. So, definitely I will use the for loop. For I in range, say for example we want a line of 40 dashes, or to keep it simple 20 dashes. So, I need to execute the loop 20 times. Print, I am going to print a single dash, later on we will make some changes to this, and I am giving separator equals nothing. Why? Because by default when we give print, the next character or set of words will be printed on the next line, but we want to draw a simple line. So, we just give separator equals space. So, what will happen with this function? When we make a call to this function, a line will be printed. The task of defining the function is over. Now, we try to make a call to the function. Always writing few extra comments help us when we are reading the program once again. making a call to the function. Here it will be function singular and not plural. So I make a call print line and we print something hello world, and once again we have print line. So we are making a call to the function twice over here, first over here and then towards the end. So now let us try to run the program. Simply I can give F5. It will ask to save first, yes, and what has happened? I have made a mistake over here. Instead of separator, I should have given end of line, because end of line is /n and so not the separator. So now let us try to check, and yes, now there you go, it's fine, correct, and we get the two lines when we make a call to the function. So that's the first program. Now we make some modification to this program. What we do is we take this little bit down in the comment section. We use a multiple line comment, and now we are going to modify the same program to include parameters. So we'll create a function with parameters instead of without parameters, with parameters. So we have two parameters over here, ch and n. Why ch? We may want instead of dashes asterisk or maybe some other character in the line, and n indicates how many times we want the character to be repeated. So we make some change over here. Instead of 20 I write n, and instead of dash I write ch. So that's quite simple. Now here I am including one character, and say for example 20, but here I am writing something else, say for example asterisk and 25 times. So let us try to check. This time just observe, when I make a call to the function, I am passing different set of arguments both the times. So let's check. Yeah, just observe, this dashes come for 20 times and the asterisks are there for 25 times, and whatever we are printing in between is getting printed. So just a small change as far as the function is concerned. We include the parameters, and once we include the parameters while defining the function, we need to make sure that when we make a call to the function, again we are passing on the parameters. Now let us try to observe what happens if I remove the parameters when I make a call to the function. What happens? Missing two required positional arguments ch and n. It is compulsory for us to give the parameters, without that the function won't work. So that is what the error is about. So always remember, when the parameters are defined, we are giving the parameters. But say for example I want to make a call to the function without the parameters this time, then what? Then we need to write function, or we need to define the function in a different way. And so I will make some correction over here. Program with default, you can say keyword arguments. So we are giving some default keyword arguments, hence if we specify then also it is fine, if we don't specify then also it is fine. That means what I am doing, if the user does not specify the parameters by making a call to the function, that is over here like this, then by default these values will be taken automatically. Okay, so let us try to check. And yes, it works. Again, try to understand the concept carefully. When we are defining the function, we are creating the function, we pass two arguments, and along with the arguments we pass the default values as well. That is why it is said default keyword arguments. That means by default dash will be used for drawing the line, and the line will consist of 20 characters. Hence, there are two ways, in fact one more way is also there. We print a line without any arguments, then we print something, and then we print line once again with some parameters. Now there is a third variation to this also. Say for example, I am not giving this and I am writing print one more variation of print line and now what I am doing in print line, this time I am giving ch equals hash comma n equals 25. So making a call to the function without an argument, with one argument, but here I need to be careful. I need to specify ch equals, that means the name of the keyword argument. So now let us check what is the output, or is there some output or not. Some invalid syntax, some mistake as far as the syntax is concerned. Yes, the closing brackets are not completed. So let us try to check once again, and yes, just one small mistake, slash n should have been there over here. So I write slash n and try to execute it once again, and there you go. You can see over here, without any arguments, with one argument, and with two arguments. That means when I say with one argument, we are making a call to the function without any argument, making a call to the function with one argument, making a call to the function with multiple arguments. Now still we can do some variation over here. Here we had kept ch as asterisk and n was fixed as 20. What I can do is I can give n is equal to 30 and ch can be kept as dash. So let us try to check now, and wow, it works. See how it works. First function without any arguments, so dash line with 20 characters. Here we are just changing n is equal to 30. The first parameter remains the same, that is ch equals dash. So we have 30 dashes, and last one, both arguments hash and n equals 25. So this is what is known as with default keyword arguments. And remember students, this is going to be very useful. If you just recollect the range function, then you might have observed that in range the stop value is compulsory. Say for example over here, but the other two values, start and increment or decrement, are optional. So that is how here also you can do with the user defined functions. So we have done functions without parameters, with parameters, with default parameters. Now we go to the next one. We want return values as far as a function is concerned. So how to get return values with a function? Again, it is simple. We just need to add some small thing. Let me make changes in the same program. So I put entire content in the comment. What I do is program to demonstrate function with return values. So we want to demonstrate a function with return values. Now here what we are going to do, we are going to write a program that takes two numbers from the user and returns the sum of those two numbers. Program to return the sum of two numbers. Now remember, we want two numbers from the user. These two numbers can be collected within the function or outside the function. We collect it from outside. We are taking int input because we want to convert the numeric values which are in the form of text into integer. Enter the value of a. So the user will enter the value of a and we are copying it. Control V. Now we want the value of b. So now we start with the function definition. Define, or let me put one more comment over here. Control C and Control V. Define add underscore numbers. Now we have two arguments, x comma y, that is what we are basically defining, and the function definition is actually very simple. What we want to do, result equals x plus y and return result. In fact, I can do it in a much simpler way. I can directly write return x plus y. So now defining the function task is over. Now I need to make a call to the function. So what I do, just try to observe over here. I give Control V and I have to write. Again I will take one variable over here, ans equals add numbers a comma b. So we want to add the numbers a and b and then print the sum of a dash comma a comma and b dash comma b comma is comma a and s. So that is where we get the sum of the two numbers. In fact, the function definition is also quite simple, nothing much in it. So let us try to execute and check whether there are any errors or not. Yes, we save it. We want to enter the value of a, so we have 10, say for example, and we have 10, and yes, we get the output. Sum of a10 and b10 is 20, which is perfectly right. Let us try to check for something else as well. Something else, that means some different kind of input. Say previously we had taken the same numbers, now we are taking different numbers. So there you go, we get the output as 17, which is absolutely correct. So just try to observe what is the different thing over here in this function. The return statement. Again, most of the times, most of you have used the return statement multiple times. So you return the result, and we have, because we are returning the result, when you make a call to the function, you need a variable which stores the value that is returned by the function. I repeat, because you are returning something back, then when you make a call to the function, you need a variable that is going to store the value that is returned when a call is made to the function. So quite simple, nothing much in it. Now what next? So let us try to check. We have functions with single and multiple return values. We want a function which returns multiple return values. Here is the demonstration of a program that returns a single value. We want a function that returns multiple values. So for that, let us try to go on the Python shell or Python IDE and try to perform something. Say for example, I am taking a list 23, 4, 76, 9, 34. Okay. Now for list there are multiple user defined functions. Mean of LST, I can have mean of LST, max of LST, and there you go. We get what is the minimum value and what is the maximum value as the output. So in the next program, what we are going to do, we are going to create a list which contains multiple values, and the program is going to return two values, minimum and maximum. So again we make change to the same file. I put everything in comment. Now again I copy something from the previous program to demonstrate function with multiple return values. Program to return minimum and maximum value from a list. So again, because there are multiple lines, what I do is, instead of putting a single line comment, we just put a multi-line comment, and just for our understanding I am putting a hash over here. That is just for our understanding. Fine. Now we start with a program. Again, basically here the program is a function. So we try to define the function first. So defining the function, that is what we do first. Control V and def. The name to the function that we give is list operations. And remember, we are going to add something to this function little bit later on. What list operations? On what we are going to perform? LST. We pass LST. And in fact, I forgot one thing which we should have done over here. We should have taken a list with some values in it, 14, 87, 9, 23, 68, whatever, 33. So we have number of values over here, and we ask the list to perform some operations. So we want to return minimum and maximum value from the list. So I have to simply write return mean of LST, max of LST. Yeah, it's that simple. Within user defined function, I am making use of Python defined functions. Now we make a call to the program. Now remember, here you have to be careful. When you have a function that returns multiple values, that means when you are making a call to the function, there should be multiple variables to store the corresponding values. So say for example, I take two variables. What do I take for the variable names? Anything I can take. Say for example, mean list, max list equals. Now I am making a call to the function operations, and here I pass LST. So the values that are returned by the function are stored in the two corresponding variables, mean list and max list. The last step that we need to do is we need to print minimum value of list, and we have to give mean list. Same way, we have to have maximum value of a list, and we have max of list. So just some change that is there over here. Let us try and execute. Yes, we have the min and the mean. One thing that I should be doing over here is print the values of list R, LST. So it will print the values of the list. Hence it becomes easier for us to identify the minimum and the maximum value. So I have used over here a program to demonstrate multiple return values, but I have done little bit of a smart work, in the sense just taken two Python defined functions over here. Now say for example, we want something else, that is we want the sum of all the numbers in the list, then what? So for that I have to write something over here. For I in LST, sum is equal to sum plus I. In fact, what I should have done over here is I should have taken or initialized sum with 0, and one more value will be returned, that is sum. So now the function is returning 3 values, not 1 or 2, but 3 values are being returned by the function. So when the function is returning 3 values, when I make a call to the function, I need 3 variables. So I take sum of list, and I need to print the same thing as well. So here I write sum of values in the list. Little bit of modification as far as the output is concerned. So we have sum list. Fine. So let us try to execute and check. F5, and yes, just try to observe. You can do the summation of numbers in the list, and you will find that the sum of numbers is 234. So students, here the function is returning 3 values. It's quite simple. Multiple values written by the function, and this is one of the features of the Python language, which may be difficult to achieve in other languages. Because it is returning 3 values, when you make a call to the function, you need 3 variables which will store the corresponding values. Mean will be stored in mean list, max will be stored in max list, and sum will be stored in sum list. So I hope you have understood this function that returns multiple values. We have studied number of things right now. Just let us try to take an overview of the things that we have studied. One topic is remaining, which we will try to study in the next session: functions with variable number of parameters. But we have seen functions without parameters, with parameters, with default keyword arguments, and with single and multiple return values. We have to study one more topic next time, that is break and continue, which we did not study in the previous session when looping was being covered. So we just stop over here. We'll come back in the next session. Thank you.